So I thought I'd do another video, just and something I've been thinking about as a Newcastle fan, and that is Alan St. Maxim. So when we signed St. Maxim, I was quite excited. I thought we got him. I know about the French league. I'd seen him play in the French league, and I thought, that's a good signing. And I was quite excited. I always thought, what a player! And I didn't know if he was going to translate to the Premier League, and I think it definitely has. For me, he carries the ball so well. Whilst he's not a great finisher in my opinion, he is our threat. He is a class player. He can go past people. Is so exciting to watch. And for me, looking at this Newcastle team now, if I'm honest, whilst I appreciate a lot of the players, him and probably Callum Wilson and Darlow are the three players I want to watch play, because for me they're the three who I think are could be in a top six squad easily. Um, so I when he's come in, he's had some incredible performances for us. Plays really well, very exciting, even against the top teams. I think he's a threat. They all appreciate that he's our go-to guy. We try and get him the ball, and so forth. I feel that this season, since he signed the new deal, he has struggled with the lack of possession we've had. And it frustrates me because people say, oh, he's not trying because of, he signed this contract extension, he's not been trying as much, not been enjoying, he's, he's got all this new money and he's just dropped tools. I don't think that's true. For me, he's one of those players that, yeah, he's great and he's the best player, but for me, he needs as well players to support, to make runs for him and everything like that. And with us this year being so difficult to watch, just constantly sitting deep, trying to hit on the break, I just can't imagine what he'd be like if he had a team where they had lots of the ball. It's more difficult because those teams that you play against, where you have more of the ball, they have the defense. The teams tend to sit back quite further, so you might not have as much space to run into. But I just feel he would be so much more happier. The other thing I have is Joelinton played really well against Crystal Palace, but previous to that, I think that Maxim kind of, when he passes it to him, when he links up with him, he kind of knows it's end of move. I always say this with Joelinton, except for the Palace game. Majority of the time, you get the ball, it'll be end of move in terms of he'll either lose it, have a terrible shot, or not do something productive. So Maxim probably start to feel that he needs good players around him. He needs as well more of the ball. For me, the most important thing for St. Maxim is that we need a holding midfielder who gets the ball, wins it, and gives it to him, and another player who retains the ball and passes it. Shelby used to be like that. I don't feel he can do it as much, but someone who can spray it around, get team going, and get St. Maxim in. I don't feel he does it as much anymore, if I'm honest. He was, for me, one of the years under Rafa, he was incredible. Should have been in the England squad going into World Cup 2018, in my opinion. I think, yeah, 2017, 2018, he was fantastic. He doesn't do that in the last couple of years. I don't think he's done it. But in my opinion, we need someone who wins the ball properly and someone who retains the ball. And I think if we can get that, we could really unleash St. Maxim. But I always found this strange with Hatton Ben Arthur as well, and I've said this, that people will be like, oh, we need to drop him, he's not trying hard, he's not. For me, at the time, that Pardew team, he was a one player who could do something magical in a nil-nil game, like a great cross or cut in and take a shot, do something special, and then people be like, oh no, we need someone who works hard for the team, like Obertan. It used to drive me crazy. It still does. I know Hatton, a lot of fans say he was lazy, didn't try, but for me, he was a game winner, and St. Maxim is the same game winner. And we need to give him the ball so he can influence the game. If he doesn't get the ball, he's not going to influence the game. I feel that if he got a good run of games and he would be easily snapped up by one of the top six. I think he should. I mean, if you ask me, Pepe or St. Maxim, I'll have St. Maxim all day, every day. Same if you look at United, Daniel James, Chelsea's wingers are quality. I think Spurs and Liverpool got quality players, probably wouldn't be good enough. But if you're asking me about Arsenal, Man U, um, probably Leicester as well. So Maxim all could easily get into those teams. I found that him signing the new 6-year deal, yeah, it's nice, but I've stopped believing because I know if St Maxim realistically got a great offer, he would be off. But what we need to do is we need to embrace him being here now, and we need to really try and get the best out of him. And I think Steve Bruce needs to do that. Um, it's fine saying, "Oh, he's not got the greatest attitude," but you need the game. You need a game winner. Like the alternatives we have in that position really are Jeff Hendrick, Ryan Fraser, who's a solid player, and we haven't seen enough of him. Almiron and Matt Ritchie, and they're all good players, but they're not on his level. On his day, he's fantastic. So for me, Steve Bruce should be doing everything to try and get St Maxim ticking. I feel, and I've said this, that when we had Florian Thauvin with Steve McLaren, he didn't embrace Florian Thauvin, and this is what happened. You've gone on and seen what his career has been like. He's gone to play for Marseille, gone to play for France, been League One Player of the Year. I mean, at the moment, I think his contract's running up. He's linked with AC Milan, top clubs in Europe, and we never used him. And I really want us to get the best out of these talented players because it's so frustrating when you get a player and he's quality, but you don't use him appropriately, and then you go and see him do well elsewhere. And I think for Newcastle, I mean, this is an old school, probably not one for you youngsters, but we had Jarndal Thomason, and Jarndal Thomason came to Newcastle. He was a bit unlucky because he was meant to play with Shearer, but Shearer broke his ankle, so Jarndal Thomason was played a lot. He wasn't played correctly, and he was in a poor team. And then he left Newcastle, and he had an incredible career after that. Played for AC Milan, top player for Denmark, was brilliant. And you just wonder, did we see that? Why couldn't we have seen that? And I think with St Maxim, if we don't get the best out of him, if Bruce thinks about dropping him or not using him appropriately, we could just sit back and see him go and play for some top clubs and be like, oh, why did we let him go? Love to hear your thoughts. Please hit the subscribe button and let me know what you guys are thinking. How good is Alan St Maxim?